Recently, I've been reading the Asahi Shimbun to brush up a bit on my Japanese because, being in America for, I don't know, like exactly a year now, I'm starting to get bad at speaking Japanese again. I've been reading the physical copy, but they also have a digital one online, and so I took a look at that. One series of articles that I noticed right away was calledいじめられている君へ, or To You Who Is Being Bullied. The style of and reasons for bullying in Japan are kind of similar and kind of different from in the United States, but that's not the topic that I really want to talk about in this video. Right now, both countries have news focusing on the issue and aiming out to help the victims of bullying. I think we're all pretty familiar with the kinds of help and encouragement that bullied people get in the United States. There's been the It Gets Better project, which is on YouTube, and they even made, I think, like a Google ad for it. There are songs by people like Lady Gaga or Katy Perry with, you know, lyrics like "You were born this way," or like, I don't know, "You're a firework," I think. And then, you know, that kind of thing. You also get like things on the internet or like in classrooms, which is like, "You're perfect just the way you are," or "Everybody is beautiful," that kind of thing. I'm curious about how Japan faces the same issue, so here are some excerpts from that series, To You Who Is Being Bullied. They're largely aimed at elementary and middle schoolers, and this one is called Try Reading by Yourself. If right now you're suffering through unpleasant things, then you definitely can't say that you're fine. You've got to raise your voice. First, tell your parents. Don't think things like, "I don't want to worry them." They'll feel more at ease if you talk to them. They'll definitely act on your behalf. It's okay. Right now, the bullying problem in Ootsu City is in the spotlight. That's why now especially, your school, school board, and the Board of Education will definitely help you cope with the issue. Bullying won't last forever. When you change classes, your friends will also change, and when you go to high school or university, you can meet different people. You might feel lonely not having friends, but the independent spirit of thinking, "Even if I'm by myself, I'll keep on living," is important for elementary schoolers and middle schoolers as well. What if you tried reading? When I was a kid and I was lonely, I'd read books. Books broadened my world and lightened the weight of unpleasant feelings. If I had a book, I could have enough fun by myself. No, because I focused on reading, I could say that I was quite glad being alone. This next one is called It's Okay If You're Not Good Making Friends. Ibaraki Prefecture, where I live, got severely damaged by tornadoes recently. Tornadoes are natural disasters, so the victims who have to deal with the damages are in no way at fault. Although bullying is a man-made disaster, you, who is targeted by bullying, are similarly not at fault. The rational way to avoid injury from a tornado or bullying is, well, to flee. Just like you would get out of the way of an oncoming tornado, when faced with bullying, you have to leave the bully's arena. I'm presently doing research on why it's so difficult for young people to live in this day and age. I think the reason is that people put too much stress on connections and emotional ties between people. Parents and teachers both tell you, treasure relationships with others. Some people who don't have many friends worry, am I communication handicapped? Don't you find yourself implicitly believing, I have to make connections with people and be careful not to lose those connections? I call that excessive connection syndrome. In the past, many people who did creative jobs were quite isolated. Because you're different from others, you're capable of doing a creative, original job. There's no need for you to read the atmosphere and adjust yourself to your surroundings. It's okay to be isolated. You don't have to fuss over how you get along with your classmates at the moment. Sooner or later, you'll find someone you can get along with. There are also plenty of people who didn't stick out at all in school who totally came to life as soon as they entered society. Right now, there's absolutely no need to worry, even if you're not very good at making friends. There's also an article which was written by a fashion model who transferred to a different school in the middle of elementary school, and so I think some of her upperclassmen bullied her and sort of harassed her. She told herself that if she got to university, then the girls who were harassing her wouldn't be there anymore. And she also tried to find people who were worse off than her by reading things like No Longer Human. No Longer Human is this really depressing book written by this very, I guess, depressed author, Osamu Dazai, who is very, very famous in Japan for his literature, also for his multiple suicide attempts, the final of which was successful. And this fashion model says that she was reading this book in elementary school to help with the feelings she had from being bullied, so... At the end of the article, she says, I want you to have dreams and hopes. Polishing your appearance, aiming to be a scholar, even just, I want to make someone smile, are all fine. And she also says, you're the leading actor in your life. There are movies where the protagonist gets bullied by a minor character, right? But the protagonist always succeeds in the end. After all, bullies are a minor role. There's another one written by a quadriplegic author who spent 3 years teaching elementary school students. And what he writes is, all of the students I taught had tons of good points to them. I wish I could meet you right now, find tons of your good points, give you a hug and tell you it's okay. But since I can't, I'll deliver the same message right here. He adds, without fail, the day will come when your life will start to shine. Keep living. Taking a day off or even transferring schools, it's all fine if you have to do that. So his advice is to keep a diary of how you're bullied, who bullies you, how that makes you feel, and how the people around you reacted to it, because it'll help you, he says it'll help you sort your feelings, and then if the bullying gets very serious, it gets much worse, then you can use that diary, that notebook, as evidence to protect you, and more than anything, it will be a testament to how strong you were to get through all of that bullying. So that's a small sample of the column To You Who Is Being Bullied. So you can tell me what you think in a comment, and you can also find links to the articles in the description. Bye bye!